Welcome to an after-action report for Battle 5 of the Combat Mission Final Blitzkrieg Kampfgruppe Peiper campaign. In the last battle we secured Stomont. However, because of the command decisions I made in Battle 2 and 3, we are 100% reliant on supplies from our rear, having gone for speed of advance over securing Allied fuel dumps. As the scenario title suggests, the American 117th Infantry Regiment have now counterattacked, retaken Stavelot, and cut my supply lines. Kampfgruppe Peiper are at the tip of the spear and unable to redirect attention back to Stavelot, so the recon Kampfgruppe Nittel has been assigned the task of retaking the bridge at Stavelot. The scenario primary objective is to destroy American self-propelled howitzers positioned on the northeastern hillside of the AO. The secondary objective is to secure a route through southern Stavelot, and the tertiary objective is to do as much damage to the US forces as possible. If we fail this mission, we fail the campaign, so no pressure. My force kicks off in the west of the map. To the northwest I have positioned 1 platoon 4th Company from the 1st SS Panzer Reconnaissance Group, 1 section of heavy armoured cars with 2 Pumas, and 1 platoon of 3 PSW 234 75mm support armoured cars. In the centre left I have command and the remaining Puma armoured cars from 1 section. Centre right I have 2 platoon, 2nd Company, 1st SS Recon together with a mortar section with 2 81mm mortars. This is the only indirect fire support I have. Finally, on my right, I have 2 King Tigers, a Panther, and 1 and 3 platoons from 1st Recon. Intel puts the Americans at 2 rifle companies, and the hills are infested with AT. Great, what does that mean? I'm also advised they have an overwhelming amount of artillery, and various reference points dialed in. To secure such a large urban area against a much larger force, I'm a tad light on infantry. Being sarcastic there. This battle is a major challenge, but I can't whine about it, so I put on my big boy pants and here's the plan. The ground is still muddy and I risk vehicles getting stuck, so I'm going to keep my heavy armour to the roads. I'm going to use my northwestern force to try and get flanking fire on the AT in the northeast. 2 platoon will clear the copse in the centre to prevent high ground fire and clear out any forward observers. They will then advance to the southwest screen and the main advance. The southwestern force on my right flank will advance and secure the highway screen objective, link up with 2 platoon and the armoured car force, and then move to Stavelot. At the moment I'm going straight down the main street. The focus will be southwest Stavelot and then swing through to the bridge. I'll review my situation and adjust my plan as necessary. Tactics, I'll use HE from range to try and snuff out infantry defence, but priority has to go to AT fire. I have only 60 minutes to achieve a victory, so I'm going to have to push and keep up the pace. North force starts to move through the forest. It will be slow to prevent vehicles getting stuck. On my right, I lead with Stummels, firing on the highway screen object. One platoon will take point in the advance, and they dismount whilst covered by a King Tiger. I lead with a Stummel.
Armored vehicles!
Meanwhile, 2 platoon move towards the copse. One platoon and the advancing light armour also engage the screen defenders at range. I'm engaging the Americans at the first objective from the east and the northeast. The copse is surrounded by open terrain, so I'm approaching in fire teams from defilade. The northern advance is cautious. Pioneers dismount and start scouting for picket defence. I'm keeping pace on the main road as we push towards the screen objective. Two platoon start pushing into the copse. Only 10 minutes in and you can see Stummels with support are attacking the screen objective. Two platoon are attacking the copse, and the Pioneers are leading the northern advance. I'm just scratching the defence, trying to unveil the American positions. I start to spot the howitzers at the northern location and its priests. I have no reason to adjust my plan, so let's continue. The defenders at the copse are well dug in. At the screen objective, I start taking infantry casualties. The American defence is light but well positioned. My northern group try to engage the priests. They are lightly armoured but pack a powerful punch. On the highway, a Panther takes a hit to the engine. The crew stay in the tank, but I'm now a main battle tank down. I have to now also use the King Tigers at closer range instead of the Panther. In the COPs, the firepower of the MP44 and MGs are a great force multiplier. I continue to hunt the northern AT. We have a good purchase on the screen objective, but there are still defenders in the building. You have to frustratingly love the realism of combat mission. Eventually, the heavy armour sees the close fire. I order buddy aid to gather any automatic weapons and ammunition. In the north, I continue to try and scoot and shoot. Too much shoot and not enough scoot. I've pushed through the screen. Now we join the hunt for the northeastern AT at long range. I still need to clear and secure the highway screen objective. American artillery. There were no spotting rounds, so they must have target reference points. In the north, pioneers try to clear the MG picket defence on the reverse slopes. I pick off another priest. On the road I start to put smoke as a precursor to my advance and engage at long range. Time is ticking. I try to leverage the armour of the King Tiger and provoke American AT. An emptied half-track acts as scout into Stavelot. The second King Tiger moves up. And a long-range engagement kicks off. My northern group has had limited success and taken heavy armour losses. My main thrust is from my King Tigers and at long range. I've cleared the copse and now need to retask 2 platoon. I shall continue my push up the main road and try to consolidate my force. But time is running out. I have just over 30 minutes left and I've only secured 1 objective, with the other 3 better defended. I've disabled the long-range AT, but there is more in the town that I'm going to have to deal with. I start to manoeuvre my light armour. The northern group continue to harass the Americans, with dancing armoured cars. As my force regroups on the southwestern edge of Stavelot, combat intensifies. I try to put fire on Stavelot from the north. I'm trying a frontal assault. On the hills to the north, my armoured cars are forced to withdraw under heavy small arms fire. 2 platoons from the copse arrive on the left and 1 platoon move up on the right, both under heavy fire. Three platoon move up as I commit my reserve infantry. The Americans continue to call down artillery and lay down long-range fire on my attack group. I'm too bunched together, so decide to push south and expand my front with 1 platoon. Three platoon move in to join 1 platoon. The terrain is muddy, but I want to find a second avenue to attack. Two platoon continue to push the main road. A section from 3 platoon probe my right flank. I'm trying to keep my 2 Tigers on the main road. I'm going to need them to push into the town. It looks like 3 platoon have found a gap on my right flank. I mount up 1 platoon to follow them. There's no lull in the fighting for the main entrance to the town. On the right, I push the gap and move in the rest of 3 platoon. They are aiming for the bridge. I continue to be bombarded. On my right, it's becoming close quarter fighting. I'm pushing south and the main entrance whilst harassing from the north. I'm going to try and secure southwest Stavelot and the bridge. 3 and 1 platoon will go south, 2 platoon will support the Tigers at the entrance to the town. I'll then try and deny the Americans the other 2 objectives. The southern route is going to be tough because of the urban environment and close quarter battle. American arty is taking its toll, and I only have just over 15 minutes to achieve a victory. I'm not sure I'm gonna get this. In the north, I call in harassing mortar fire. I'm trying to disrupt the priests in the area. On my right, the southern route, with the limited infantry I have, I need to use the half-tracks as close support, but they are vulnerable. Two platoon move up the main road. I'm taking prisoners. In the south, it's uncomfortably close. We have the screen objective, mopping up southwest Stavelot, and are pushing to the bridge. I've committed everything, this has to work. The pioneers in the north are hunting for the AT. They would be better used in the south, but I don't have time to retask them. I don't have any opportunity to adjust my plan, so we are going to continue the push. We are clearing the southern buildings, but it's CQB, so messy. The door is there, on your left. Why go around? Despite the final idiot TAC AI move, the time runs down and we get a major victory. I didn't expect that. My losses are around 40% of my force. The Americans failed to secure any of their objectives, ground or casualties. I secured far more territory than I expected, and inflicted acceptable casualties on the 117th. This was a tough battle, totally disproportionate if a H-to-H battle, but most of the American force is in the north of Stavelot, which I avoided based upon the mission brief. We get a victory. In 1944, Kampfgruppe Nittel failed to secure Stavelot and the Kampfgruppe Peiper was isolated. The Germans never retook Stavelot. We have one more battle in the campaign. It was a bit gamey, but I did assume I won't need Nittel again, so I accepted more casualties than I would normally. I hope this video was interesting, so let's go for the final push. You can watch other videos on my channel as we follow the various battles across World War II. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again very soon.